What do you enjoy most about biking?
Well, I've always been an outdoor person. Since I was a little boy, I've always spent most of my time outdoors. And always looking for some type of activity that I would do while I was outside. And at this part of my life was running a lot, but the knees were starting to hurt. So I found a different outlet, and it was mountain bike. And I found some trails that were near our house that were for local people that were riding through the woods, and went out and got a inexpensive bike just to see if I liked it or not. And as it was a little trail, it was probably about 3/4 of a mile. Enjoyed that. And it led to trying to find other trails that are around the Charlotte area. And once I found that, just the thrill of driving through the thick forest on a single path. A lot of times when I'm riding, I can just say, wow, this is beautiful back here. And there's nobody around. And so it's just fun to follow where the trail's going. Right around the same time that I started doing mountain bike rides, started getting involved in adventure races and mud runs and things in the area. I did a couple of fun ones at the Whitewater Center. I did a Santa Claus run and actually got top 3 for my age group. Then I did a Warrior Dash in Huntersville, and that was a blast. Another 5K run with lots of obstacles, jumping over fire pits and going down slides, and so that one was also a blast. Then I started getting into more advanced ones. This Battle Frog one was a Navy SEAL 8K run, and that one was more than just running. It was through an adventure area that had a lot more intense obstacles with there, doing pull-ups and climbing up structures and going through a couple 100 yards of mud pools and through the rivers, carrying sandbags. It was intense, and it was all I could handle on those. I did another obstacle run at the Whitewater Center that also got on the podium, top 3. I was definitely getting into them. They're a lot of fun to do, and literally on the same types of trails that I was mountain bike riding, but instead it was more obstacles and fun little things that they put in the way, so I got a kick out of it. Those are little shaver pictures. They're just spilling out now. Here's a picture in the paper that we got when we qualified for the national championships, and this is the team from Whitefish Bay that all got invited to the national championships in Minneapolis, both in there at the same time. It's nice. The one time actually Mark and I both finished first and second in a race in Wapaka. back when we were kids. Here's a picture back in the day of me skating at Cahill Square. That's where I always had the red hat and the green jacket. So that had been back in 1971 when I won the Whitefish Bay Open. So, oh, here we go. Here's my first trophy. First trophy in Whitefish Bay speed skating as a pony boy back in 1971. Here's a nice article. Dean True champion in junior meet. Got to get my own headlines. Around 1971, we started speed skating at a local rink in town at the Cahill Square. We had a small speed skating team, and a lot of the kids used to play there after school and at nighttime. And one of my friends was on the team, so my brother Mark and I joined when I was about 9 years old and started practicing at the Olympic rink, competing there. And we skated about 10 years and was able to get invited to the national championship for outdoor and indoor speed skating over a period of about 4 years in a row. And just had a blast traveling around in the Midwest, Michigan, throughout Wisconsin, frozen lakes in Minnesota and Illinois. So it was a lot of fun. And then after speed skating, even tried to practice for the Olympic team for 1976, 1980, but I never really competed at that level. From that, got into skiing, and I suppose after we moved to North Carolina is when we started doing other sports like obstacle race running and then mountain biking. Competitor, I've always wanted to be able to do something. You know, to get up early in the morning on a weekend and put 10 or 15 miles in the woods. And then at the end of the day, I feel like I did something. You know, it wasn't just what you do over the weekend. I just sat at home. I went out and I did something. But it's just, it's challenging, it's beautiful, and I feel a sense of accomplishment when I'm done. I'll never get tired of that. challenges myself really is to see if I can get from point A to point B. It's typically a loop around the woods, and challenging going uphill and seeing if I can make it over obstacles and to be able to accomplish. I tend to try to beat my times, and I try to see how far I can go, how fast I can go, and see how many rides I do in a month or in a year, how many miles I do in a year. So I have that competitive part of me. Some of the techniques I've learned is by getting out of breath riding, is that when I know that there's a stretch coming up of climbing, I'll start taking 3 or 4 deep breaths before I start an ascent. And that way I'm already rich with oxygen, and I take 4 or 5 really strong pedals, and I am not out of breath because I'm ahead of time. I know certain trails are going to be tough. I'll go slow most of the time, just saving myself for that section. So I probably am a little bit too slow and too cautious because of the fact that I know it's coming. So I'm preparing myself. A lot of times you want to make it seem like it was tougher than it actually was too.
Yeah.
And then every year it gets like it was harder and harder every year. It's like, Dad, I don't remember that being uphill. I thought it was downhill.
Yeah.
No, as I remember, it was very, very steep, and it wasn't 150 yards. It was a mile and a half.
Yeah. Well, whatever the old man says goes.
That's what I'm talking about.
So where are we heading?
We're gonna head over to the bicycle shop, Spirited Cyclist. That's where I bought my bike a couple years ago, and that's where I take it to get tuned a couple times a year. They'll usually take the whole bike apart, clean all the bearings out, put a new chain on, you know, rechange different parts on there. So great guys. Actually gone out biking with them a couple times, and so they're my local shop that I go to, and so it's kind of a fun place to stop and visit. I'm back to tune this thing up again.
You do this stuff.
Where it all stays. I can't seem to get this back the way it's supposed to be. Is that in the wrong way?
Yep.
Sometimes what'll happen is it's in my car, and since I lay it down on there, I might have knocked it loose, and it'll start shifting gears, and I'm like, oh, it's because the back wheel is loose.
Yep.
And then I can't put it back on the correct way.
Okay.
So I know there's a certain catch that it has, but that's about it. But other than that, it's still riding. Yeah.
Okay.
Like they always get it tuned up at least twice a year. Because I bought this bike here, 2016 or so,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure if I was already getting my old Specialized tune first.
Yep, I remember that one. You put a beating on it.
Yeah, it's it's been hanging in there. We've had to redo this like twice.
Yep. Drivetrain, suspensions.
We had to have the shock rebuilt. We got one of the brakes redone, and we've had the thing taken apart many times. But I tell you, they make them pretty well. You know.
All right, let's stick this thing up there. All right, can you give me a few? I'll check it out.
Okay.
Just top to bottom, this is our normal check. Make sure the bearings are good. So we're going through, checking all of those. We'll run through the gears, make sure the brakes work, all the normal stuff here. He puts a beating on it, but we keep it going for him. So, gears work, right?
So my dad had mentioned that you and a few other people went biking together at one point, or him and like a few other of the guys that work here.
That was the mud ride. It's in the spring when everybody's been cooped up all winter and they want to go ride, but the trails aren't open yet because it's been raining. So we have a special spot we go, and it's basically nothing but mud because it's been raining all winter. And everybody just gets really dirty and has a good time. It's not about going fast. It's just about going out and having some fun with your friends. And you come back pretty gross. Pictures are good. We'll go find those next. All right, they're savable. We're good. So you go to where that's just snug.
Just snug,
Just
and then you can
snug.
turn it over.
And then this part comes over. And if you can't turn it,
It's too tight.
Yep. So I'm gonna pull it back just a little bit.
I think you have to bring it back around again.
Yep. You're using that to adjust it until you find a nice
Yeah.
little spot where it's not too tight.
Yeah, I knew I had it on wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Riding it good. Let's go find a picture of the mud ride. I know you're in one of the pictures. I'll have to find you. It's a little one. He's up here. Right up in the corner. There's the man himself right there.
Yeah, there we go. Look at all the mud. Yeah.
Yep.
Here's a whole enchilada.
Oh, nice. Yep, that's a good one.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man, gladly.
Yeah.
Keep you rolling.
That's it. So now we're doing the trade-in program then?
Yep. You got it.
Turn in.
I'll even give you 45 cents. How's that?
All right, guys. Take care.
Okay. See you guys.
It's calling me, like the rainbow. It's calling me, like the rainbow. The rainbow.
I suppose for me it's the ability to be able to do that type of physical activity, to manage the hill climbs and the challenges of downhill and tight turns and the terrain that is put in front of you. A lot of times, huge hill climbs that are just beyond what you can do, but be able to get up there and finish it, and then to actually say, I did it. Wow, I was really tired, I didn't really want to go any further, I didn't want to push any harder, and to get over the top and you know you made it, and it's just, I did it. And I love the creativity of being able to go as fast or as slow, to turn and go to any trail that you want at any time, and to be able to have the freedom to enjoy it at a different level than anybody else can. And to relive my childhood, because as a kid I always rode my bike for everything, and now to be doing it 50, 60 years later and being able to have that same thrill of a little boy, you can't beat it.